Hello and welcome to a new year and a new daily devotion. This time we are talking about what did we learn as we look back about ourselves, about God in 2020. And so the first thing, the most positive thing I learned is the importance of balance and rest. And there's a small story in the Gospel of Mark, just after John the Baptist is killed and his disciples are all, ah! And Jesus' disciples are like, ah! And Jesus says, you know what, guys? People have been coming to you for healing. The disciples have actually been doing a very good model. Jesus has kind of parsoned out healing and exorcisms and ministry to his disciples. He's empowered others. But people are coming to them so much, it reads in this very small sentence in Mark's gospel, that so many were coming to the disciples that they didn't even have a chance to eat. And they come to him just out of gas. Jesus says, you know what? Pack up your stuff. We're leaving this place. We go off to a quiet place and just rest. And I had never seen it before. I've read the Gospel of Mark in its entirety, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 times? I don't know. And it's amazing when you read Scripture how something stands out to you that you didn't see or you read over before. Yeah, I've had a lot of days when I didn't have time to eat because there was so much going on. And as Robin is comparing our 2020 calendar in January, last year pre-pandemic, to this year's 2021 calendar and its stark kind of open dates, she's kind of laughing. Look at how scheduled our January was. You know, basketball practices and games and, you know, music and church stuff and stuff at her work. And I said, yeah, this is, you know, not maybe the fast pace in which we were living, maybe going back to what was normal isn't what God would want us to learn. Maybe we're so far out of balance, so self-absorbed, I'd like to say, so into our entertainment world where everything's on the screen or in video games or, you know, binge watching, that maybe we've spent so much time living in our imaginary worlds that we've neglected the real life God's given us. We've gotten lazy about it, complacent about it, haven't lived with our relationships. It takes a little work. It takes a little effort. Oh my goodness. But to have that balance of building and working at relationships and then rest. You know what the greatest thing in 2020 was for me? I'll tell you. New Year's Eve day, sitting on a couch with my wife as my 11-year-old, almost 12-year-old daughter, who hasn't cuddled with Dad, too old for that stuff, comes up, climbs onto me. The dog's under my legs. Then the other twin comes up on Robin's lap. Then my niece comes up. It's a big human dog pile on the couch. 6 people on a couch meant for 2. And just nuzzling up and holding each other, watching a program. It was fantastic. I could have, if heaven is anything near that, I'll be a happy man for the rest of my days. Don't miss the ordinary and the beauty of the God-given day before you in trying to entertain ourselves to death. I would say, honestly, and this is going to sound a little crazy, but I think it's maybe one of the most effective forms of subtle evil that we pander to this, I've got to be entertained 24/7. Instead of living in the real and the now that could be far more abundant than anything we can imagine. Let's wrestle with that a little bit and get to living the kind of life God's given to us. What an amazing gift that we've made very insignificant in ways it never was meant to be.